Meet Bob. Bob's a country accountant. In the winter of 2015, he was very busy. During that time, he prepared John's tax returns. John had a former partner, Jane. For obvious reasons, John didn't want his financial information shared with Jane. Unfortunately, without even considering the matter, Bob disclosed John's tax return to Jane. The information revealed included John's tax file number, his TFN. Feeling aggrieved and upset, John lodged a formal complaint. The OAIC investigated. They found Bob's firm didn't have appropriate safeguards to protect client TFN information. Both John and Bob's firm agreed to the OAIC's conciliation process. A settlement was reached. Bob's firm took specific steps to secure client TFN information, and the accountancy firm also paid John $5,000 compensation. That's why organisations like accountants need to know their privacy obligations. Sure, they're authorised to handle tax file numbers, but they must protect your TFN. Say you've encountered a personal privacy issue and you want to lodge a formal complaint about it. What can you do? How do you apply your rights? How do you complain? Are there any costs involved? Can you be compensated? The OAIC handles privacy complaints from individuals. That's complaints about entities covered by the Australian Privacy Act. You can complain about the handling of your personal information by Australian government agencies, plus many private sector organisations. The OAIC tries to resolve complaints fast, generally through their conciliation process. At any time throughout the process, you can withdraw your complaint. Let's talk about Pat, John and Jessie. Pat attended group counselling sessions at a local therapeutic practice. In group sessions, people with similar issues come together. John, a professional therapist, led the sessions. Everyone in the sessions contributed. Some mainly listened, others mainly talked, all shared. Throughout the sessions, John made constant notes. These notes contained personal information, yet he didn't explain his actions to group members. Also, the practice's written privacy policy made no reference to this. After one session, John chatted with Pat's former partner, Jessie. In that conversation, John casually disclosed personal information about Pat to Jessie. From John's perspective, he was only talking. At the time, John thought no more about it. Hearing about this exchange later, Pat was outraged. Pat felt John's behaviour was utterly inappropriate for a therapist. So, Pat complained to the OAIC. Pat wanted an apology and compensation. The OAIC conducted an initial investigation. They proposed conciliation. Both parties agreed to this. The process resolved the complaint. John's practice paid $5,000 compensation and refunded client fees. The practice also agreed to apologise to Pat. It also changed its personal information handling practices. Now all group counselling participants are fully notified about the practice's personal information handling practices, and great care is taken to ensure personal information always remains confidential. The takeaway? For sensitive personal health related information, when it comes to personal information collection and dissemination practices, you're entitled to absolute confidentiality. Health service providers must be clear and upfront about their information handling practices. This must be fully explained in their privacy policy. Put yourself in Pat's situation. Say you believe your privacy was violated and you want to complain. How would you go about it? Well, the OAIC has a straightforward complaint process. First, before lodging a complaint with the OAIC, complain to the agency or organisation involved. they should respond within 30 days. If they don't, or you're dissatisfied with their response, then complain to the OAIC. Second, OAIC complaints must be made in writing. They can't take complaints by phone. Lodging a complaint is free. You don't need a lawyer to lodge a privacy complaint, but if you decide to hire a lawyer, you must pay yourself. What's the online privacy complaint checker? The complaint checker asks up to 8 simple questions. It helps you check if the OAIC may be able to investigate your complaint. It only gives general advice. This advice is applicable in most circumstances, but don't rely upon it as legal advice. You can lodge a complaint online. The complaint form requires contact details. It also asks some eligibility questions. It records details of your complaint. You can save and edit the form. Once completed, just submit it. An OAIC written complaint needs certain information, like your contact details and relevant reference numbers or identifiers, the name of the agency or organisation involved, a brief description of your privacy problem, details of any action the agency or organisation has taken to fix the problem, what you want to resolve your complaint, plus copies of relevant documents. This includes copies of your complaint to the agency or organisation and its response. If your complaint involves credit reporting, add a copy of your credit file.